Ladies and gents, I've just been given the signal that we are ready to move on to the next match of the night. The athletes are set backstage, and this one is on the right arm. Match 6 on tonight's card. It will take place in the men's heavyweight division, and it is a killer lineup between two men at opposite ends of the experience spectrum. Firstly, starting with this man. He is hungry and on the rise from his home nation of Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Serhii Kalinichenko! Ladies and gentlemen, the hungry, the visceral Serhii Kalinichenko waits at the table. He had asked to face someone really elite. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent needs no introduction anywhere in the world of arm wrestling. He is a multiple national champion, EAF, European champion, and multiple WAF champion of the world. He is a dominant force in his nation and comes here as one of the most feared athletes in the division. Please raise it up and welcome Ivan Matyushenko!
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Get ready. An extraordinary left-handed match here in the 115th. Make no mistake about it, the show is on the stage. Serhii has a tremendous uphill battle ahead of him. His opponent is the epitome of pound-for-pound left-handed arm wrestling. This is a special athlete, ladies and gentlemen. The man on the right of your screen, Ivan Matyushenko, an extraordinary left-handed arm wrestler now. Here to see if the right arm is as dominant. I can tell you, the hand and wrist of Serhii is super powerful. Almost unorthodox in style. It appears that when you get a grip with him that you can have some sort of control, but he maintains. You've seen him even in the blemish matches that are on his resume. He has an extraordinary hand and wrist.
Too much.
His opponent looking to suck the wind out of Serhii, make this thing arm to arm the very best when it comes to hook arm wrestling. And when I say the very best hooker, not that you are the best hooker, it's that you're the best at getting your opponent in a hook.
One warning.
Yeah, we can see there the warning there on Serhii Kalinichenko. Not a lot of movement, but enough that the referees have picked up on it. Very
He
calm
must
demeanor.
have blinked, Ryan, because I did not see much movement there. Here we go. Serhii needs to be crazy aggressive. The outside move, the connection below the wrist must remain. Space must be there. Once you see the wrists touching each other, it is all Ivan Matyushenko.
And there's the classical hook from Ivan Matyushenko. You can see there, but a foul called on it. He is a master of setting a hook, isn't he? Like there are a few better.
Yeah, no doubt, and I think a lot of that is the hand positioning. If you watch, it's almost any sort of side pressure against Ivan Matyushenko results in his cupping being immediate, and that is all about the positioning of the hand and wrist. He's got an extraordinary false grip, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we've seen Serhii in the match arm to arm. Early in the rounds, he's shown a lot of promise, even in a hook.
Here we go. Referee's getting them set in that ref's There's the start, and they have gone arm on arm against Serhii in a open sort of a position, but Ivan Matyushenko looking very calm and collected. But at the moment, it is center table. Both guys assessing each other's power surge there from Serhii, but containment by Ivan Matyushenko at the moment. Waiting for that big offensive drive as an attempted press.
Elbow.
An attempt from Serhii to get his shoulder behind there, unsuccessful, and a bit of a elbow foul in the process.
No doubt, Serhii being super sticky in there, but the optics sheerly 100% show you that nothing worse than figuring out that not only can he hook me, but his hook may be a little tighter than mine. Ivan Matyushenko definitely doing the most damage here so far in round one.
Yeah, well, of course, once you're in that tight position, it's just a matter of time. The patience is the only thing you need. And Ivan Matyushenko was showing his experience there. He set that hook, he was deep, he was tight. He was able to contain the surges from Serhii Kalinichenko, and he was just going to wait for Serhii to gas out. But we see the elbow foul now, one foul apiece. In this opening round here, Serhii Kalinichenko, big opportunity this match is for him to show that he is on a roll, but Ivan Matyushenko, calm and collected right now.
Don't move. Go!
And there we go, an attempted slip from Serhii. And they're going to give it to him. Ivan inquiring as to why it wasn't given a pin. He feels like it might have been a parallel pin, but Serhii Kalinichenko is going to get his wish, and they're going to go to the straps, it would seem.
Yeah, it's super puzzling here. Maybe thinking that there's absolutely no way of slipping in a top roll because of the commitment from Matyushenko to come inside and hook him. Wanting the straps, though, is a bit interesting to me. Maybe now the outside move contains a lot more dragging. He'll be more committed to taking the entire upper body over towards the pin pad. But listen, it's looking worse and worse for Kalinichenko as time goes on. Even though the match is very in the beginning, the three ready goes have shown a clear dominant stance from Ivan Matyushenko.
We'll see what tactics Serhii attempts with this strap that he very much wanted. We could see when the slip was awarded, Ivan Matyushenko was a little bit frustrated that it wasn't awarded a pin, but still remaining very calm. The buckled side is with Ivan going into this opening round. Both guys on one foul. They've got to be careful not to get any early starts and accumulate those warnings. But let's see what Serhii Kalinichenko was thinking of. We can see him setting his shoulder forward. A press coming maybe here, Travis?
I think that it's obvious that he understands that Matyushenko's a master at that hook. Any wasted space not going towards the pin pad could prove, and he looks like he's trying to get that compromised hand. But wow, look at the experience. Now the poise here. Can Matyushenko just stand up and relax here? Both have a foul here, has to be careful. This is very devastating. No.
Elbow.
Winner, Ivan Matyushenko. Despite the calls from Serhii, he was asking for the elbow, but fascinating there. Like he took the hand and wrist quite comfortably after the attempted flop press was not successful. But Ivan wasn't quite able to pin. The Serhii was holding it off, but my gosh, the work that Serhii is accumulating on those joints now must be extreme.
No doubt. And now you think about the experience and the expertise. Does Matyushenko mind being in the straps? You can clearly see that even though he wants to hook, Serhii had the ability to get underneath the connection. Now we start to see, does he allow Serhii to even get in the strap? He has to be very confident of the arm strength. Maybe the leaning forward begins. This could spell really danger, not even being able to get to the straps here in the later rounds.
Yeah, he's shown his cards, Serhii, that he needs to slip underneath, and that will be, typically speaking, that's a fairly easy thing for Ivan Matyushenko to cut off. We think of what he did to Kamil Jablonski on left, who was another famous flop wrestler, to cut him off. If he senses that Serhii is slipping underneath, we can expect a very quick, lightning fast hook and drag from Ivan Matyushenko, who looks incredibly calm sitting in the corner there. Just a little bit of deep breathing, but completely focused, completely ready. Where Serhii on the other side, in his corner, he's got the ice bag on the elbow. He has taken a lot of work so far. He's thinking of tactics. He's thinking of what he can throw at the great Matyushenko.
Let's go! Давай, Иван! Давай!
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 ways to get on the card. Be an absolute killer like Ivan Matyushenko, or be a showman like Serhii. Keep it up, young man. Whatever it takes to get on the main stage here at King of the Table, I recommend. If there's an outside move, if there's a way to compromise the hand and wrist, to eliminate the absolute power of Matyushenko's hook, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, here we go. The fuel is already running low on Serhii. You can see him. He is setting with that shoulder slightly stacked. He's trying to disguise the flop press perhaps, or will he just commit in? But right now, Matyushenko very calm, feeling everything that Serhii is throwing at him. I think we're going to see a flop slip. No, he's going to hold on. He's going to go into the hook with him, Travis.
Yeah, no doubt, and probably the smartest thing to do. He has to be trying to play the chess game as well, understanding that as soon as he shows the poise, the absolute pressure of definitely trying to go underneath, it will trigger Matyushenko to lean forward. This should keep it good, but in a dead hook, Serhii is in the match. It just seems to be trying to pin Matyushenko becomes the biggest problem.
Хорош!
And you can
Хорош! Ты мой!
I was impressed there.
Ты мой!
Yeah, no doubt. And even with the surge of Serhii, you can see Matyushenko, any sort of connection is not lost. If you want to move him left or right, his entire body is moving from left to right. That connection from his hand and shoulder and face is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Matyushenko,
Textbook.
textbook, absolute beautiful mover when it comes to the sport of hook arm wrestling.
But you
This
know,
guy's special.
Serhii there looked much deeper than round number one when they went into the hook as well. So you can sense it. He's got a little bit more of a spring in his step now. He believes that maybe there is something there. He was being more patient. He wasn't surging. He was just balancing with Matyushenko, seeing if he had endurance in that tight position. And there they go into the hook. It's a tight position from Serhii, Kalinichenko, and Matyushenko. And once again, an elbow foul called on Serhii. He'll be disappointed with that as Ivan takes the second round. Look, I'd love to see that play out because that's close, Travis.
There is no doubt about it. Now listen, I'm not telling you the tables are turned. What I'm telling you is Serhii told us this is going to be a hook match. I'm prepared to beat Ivan Matyushenko in a hook. And if I'm not 100% lost here, I feel like that last surge for Matyushenko separated the shoulder and hand just a little bit at the end. Serhii could actually be in this match, and what a thrilling thing it would be for him to come back from this 0-2 spot.
Yeah, I saw it too. There was a little bit of separation in the Matyushenko position, and I think Serhii felt that too. He knows he's in it. I'm not sure where the elbow foul's coming from. The camera didn't quite catch it for us, but he can just keep it down. Keep patient. It does look like Matyushenko senses the need to attack, and it's breaking down. It's breaking down. What if this happens, Travis? Watch for the shoulder commitment from Serhii once the door opens.
Yeah, no doubt. And then you start thinking about the age difference and the fact that the momentum starts to sway towards the younger man. And listen, we know he's a showman. Let him even this thing up or get this victory. Yeah, he said him right there. Show me. If you're the best hooker, then show me. Now it's a little different here. Everybody anxiously anticipating the start of round 3. Ivan Matyushenko, Serhii Kalinichenko, here we go.
Open.
You can sense the rising belief in Serhii Kalinichenko. Ivan Matyushenko, 1 win away from taking the match. There's the start into the deep hook. The shoulder is behind on Serhii. Elbow foul before the pin, or they're going to ask the question. But Serhii, early commitment to the shoulder and just bulldoze through.
And not a lot to say here. Serhii doing the talking here. You know, listen, he's taken the best punch that he could ever take. He understands that the game plan, everyone has a game plan, Ryan, until you get punched in the face. But oftentimes, after you get punched in the face, if you find out if that's the best your opponent has, well, I'm here to fight. Listen, Serhii is not only in this match, that was a perfect rendition there. He stopped in the hook. He also had the control in the posture to bring it. That was a pushing kind of a drag hook and a press at the same time, and it definitely happened. The upper body was still connected and made the elbow fall to the side. But listen, if that match stays like that, to me, it looks like Serhii would have got the first win here.
Yeah, it did look that Serhii got in position. There's perhaps the fuel is just running a little low on Ivan Matyushenko in the hook, and that's allowing the opportunity for Serhii to get the shoulder behind, where in round 1 the pressure was too high from Ivan and the energy was up, so there was no option to get the shoulder. If Serhii Kalinichenko can keep his elbow on the pad here, there is a real opportunity for him to turn this match around. Referee's grip now, you can see Serhii is itching for the start. And there is the start. Good start from Matyushenko. He holds him off the shoulder press and fights harder for center. But now a good tight position from Serhii. Matyushenko realizes the urgency, but Matyushenko unable to get through that locked hook position. Elbow foul on Serhii. We're going to go again. Round 3 is not over yet.
So close once again, Matyushenko. What a hook powerhouse there. The whole time it was so close. Serhii was so close to being able to initiate the tricep and start pushing. Matyushenko of having the ability to keep him at 12 o'clock, never letting that thing get to that 10:30 mark where that shoulder starts to come in. This is unbelievable here. If you watched early rounds here, you would think this was going to be an easy victory for Ivan Matyushenko, regardless of the score here. This thing has absolutely been a thriller here. Serhii has a tremendous opportunity to blow the roof off here at the Green Park Hotel here in Pendik, Istanbul. What an opportunity for Serhii, who is an absolute showman, Ryan. If you start accumulating some victories along with that showmanship, the sky's the limit for an athlete of his nature.
Absolutely. Now, Ivan Matyushenko, he knows it's an urgent matter now to win this round. He doesn't want a 4th round. He doesn't want a 5th round. He wants to finish it now. He can sense that his gas tank is emptying faster than Serhii's. And we could see that. It was reflected in when he stayed committed to the offensive drive. He didn't get tight. He just went on the attack, the drag hook. And look, he was close. He was very close to getting through as well. Serhii held it and was ready to get that shoulder behind. But Matyushenko, watch for this start. We can expect an all-out offense from him.
Yeah, you got to think about if you're trying to get out of the way, top roll, use an outside move against a hooker. A lot of times he doesn't get to feel the best of you. Sometimes it's best to set up that wall and make that good hooker pin you all the way to the back. Serhii is gaining a lot of power. Ladies and gentlemen, no reason for us to talk. Serhii, you can see from the excitement. And listen, the nonverbal communication, Ryan, tells me that now Serhii is not only in the match, but he's a favorite to come back from an 0-2 deficit.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, if you're betting on this match, you've just gone fantastic. But you know, Ivan Matyushenko, often I see this in arm wrestling where when you've had a big fight and you didn't quite get it due to a foul, sometimes you just say, I want a longer rest, I'm going to let this one go. I'm only going to half-heartedly let this one go to the pad. I'm going to get him in the next round after. So perhaps Ivan Matyushenko is saving up, he's accumulating a little bit more. He needs that gas tank to refill a little bit before we see him go on another offense.
Yeah, the mouth wide open there. You could definitely see sucking for action there. But the aggressive nature. Serhii is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, you could tell from the press conference, there are few athletes that immediately jump out of the screen here. Serhii is more aggressive. You hear now in the corner him really wanting to bring this fight to Ivan Matyushenko. Bring it on, he says. This is a tremendous athlete right here who's really coming into his own. And when you think about that 253-pound class, if you can tell me that you have the hooking ability to hook with Ivan Matyushenko, and you have the hand and wrist to pull great matches with guys like Georgi Fedkov, you're talking about a complete arm wrestler here in Serhii Kalinichenko.
Let's have a look at what happens in round number 4 as Ivan Matyushenko has a bit of a puzzle now as to what he is going to do against Serhii, who has dominated the inside lane in round number 3. Let's see where this one goes as they set up. Will we see a strap pull, a top roll from Ivan to get to that strap, or will this go straight in? Let's see. Hands being closed.
Go!
And it's into the hook and a good high offensive drive from Matyushenko. Elbow foul on Serhii. Okay, Matyushenko, as I suspected, he's saved up a little bit of fuel. He's let that gas tank refill a bit, and this is the round where he's going to test it out. But Serhii Kalinichenko is looking good. He is breathing like he is going to take this match. He's ready for the fight, but Matyushenko, it's not over yet. This is a 50-50 match for me, Travis. Right?
Yeah, no doubt. And you see the difference in round 1 where Ivan coming forward, even elbow fouling in order to set the hook. Now his elbow planted really clearly on the back of that stage, on the back of that elbow pad, because unlike round 1, now Serhii is the one coming forward. And it's a small range of motion there. If he gets enough at 10 o'clock and that shoulder comes on top, so close. The connection in height in Serhii's advantage, but the raw hooking side pressure of Matyushenko is keeping him in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. We have a match.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner, Ivan Matyushenko. Relentless offense. He breaks through the defensive position of Serhii Kalinichenko and gets the job done. Amazing. Look at this replay. You can see there it was relentless offensive surges. Serhii Kalinichenko was unable to get any offense in. No shoulder could be opened up. And once the bicep was open, it was a done deal.
No doubt. Extraordinary matchup here. This is what King of the Table is all about. Two absolute studs going at it head to head. Ivan Matyushenko, the better man today, but there's no way in the world you can dismiss the show of Serhii. What an absolute beast. The young man's got a bright future in that 115-pound class. Let's give it up. Give it up for Serhii, and let's take a listen. Neil Pickup is with your winner, Ivan Matyushenko.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with an exhausted winner, Ivan Matyushenko. Mate, that was a battle. And you can hear from the crowd just how much they appreciated it. I said at the start on the introduction, two men at opposite ends of their career. The experienced campaigner, the young lion, he came after you with claws out.
My big respect for Kalinichenko. He is great. I respect him for be brave to pull with me and thank him for this difficult fight. I think it was the most difficult fight for now for me. He was the most even opponent. And I think he had some mistakes that helped me to win. But it was really difficult.
Was the match and his approach to the match what you expected? Technically, did you expect him to be as strong in the positions that he was?
I expected him not to be so strong in hook, in defensive hook. But I thought he would try to top roll me, but he didn't even try. But I think he had some chances there. Maybe.
Now, one of the interesting things there, and you could hear from the commentary position, it looked to everybody at home, I'm sure, like you were gassing out. It looked like the younger man was ready to come and to get on the dramatic comeback. But the old saying is, champions response. And you are definitely, undeniably, a champion. How hard was it to rally, to come back in that third round and to put that thing to bed?
Very difficult. Actually, I had injury on my biceps a year ago, and I was not sure that it will hold in this position. But thank you, it worked.
Now, Ivan, we've seen you come up to the table in East versus West, in King of the Table, always give impressive performances. You face a murderer's row. Who do you want to pull next? Who have you got your eye on?
Like Serhii said that after beating me, he was going to pull Ibrahim or Gennady. So I think that will be a good variant for the future fight for the title.
Ibrahim Sagov or Gennady Quickvinia. Ladies and gentlemen, massive round of applause for Ivan Matyushenko.
Пользуясь случаем, хочу передать привет ребятам, которые меня смотрят, и всем, кто за меня болел. Спасибо большое.
Good job, brother.